Well, hello guys. 6 months. It's been 6 months, can you believe that? And there's been no long form videos for 6 months, although there was 3 months worth of daily shorts going out. And this video is a little bit more of an explanation of where I've been and what I've been up to. You see, a lot of people think I fell out of love with gardening, but that couldn't be further from the truth. And I didn't walk away from you either. You see, I've been gardening for nearly 40 years of my life, and I've been on YouTube for 18 of those years. That's a huge amount of time to be creating free content for you guys and to constantly be trying to evolve with the way YouTube's algorithm works, to give you really updated information, to keep everybody happy, and to provide content that people needed because they were struggling with. And the consequence of that is I had the biggest burnout that I've ever experienced. And I've had some burnouts over time. And in July, I think it was last year, I had the biggest burnout I ever had. Now, to frame that, we had a lot going on as well. We were having some problems here on the allotments, which hopefully are sorted out now. And I'm not going to go into that, but also we parted ways the March before with a sponsor, and it wasn't a relatively nice process. Work was extremely busy. As you know, we had huge wildfires going on all year. And with all of that going on, all the family issues, I had a couple of health issues as well, it just got too much. So I decided that I was going to take a little break from filming, because sometimes you need to take that break, and my body and my mind were both telling me, look, you know, you really need to step back for 5 minutes and recharge your batteries. After all, like I said, I've been doing this for 18 years. That's longer than most people have been in a job, you know. So that's what I did. For those 6 months I stepped back, but I didn't just disappear and do absolutely nothing. Since my last book, that was 2 years ago, by the way, I've been working on something, and it kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And this 6 months have enabled me to get it over the finish line. And it's not a course, and it's not like a community or anything like that. It's something I know a lot of gardeners are really going to need, and it's going to benefit you massively. But that's off in testing at the moment. It's being tested in real gardens by real people, by real gardeners. So as soon as that's available, I'll let you know more details. And over the coming weeks, I will be dropping things in the newsletter and things. So if you're not already subscribed to the newsletter, get down below and subscribe to that, because people have been getting loads of information in there and one-off help and everything else. So that enabled me to do that. And do you know what? It was fantastic for me, because it allowed me to not have to do all of the planning for videos, not have to do all of the script writing, all of the looking through comments and deciding what people needed. Not to say that I wasn't still involved in the communities. I was still writing the newsletters. I was still online, supporting other creators on their channels, turning up to live streams when I could, when work wasn't busy and things like that. But for a lot of the time, I was out there creating this thing and getting that past the finish line. And that's, like I said, all pretty much done now. So that's where I've been. The other nice thing as well is that I was able to come to the allotment without my cameras and actually garden for once. Do you know what? Things were done so much quicker. And the garden's never been this sort of far ahead at this time of year. And to give you some sort of idea, the bulk of the garden was done by New Year's Eve 2025. So, you know, that was really good for me. And I've left it till now to come back and start making content again, because I really wanted to make sure that I had the time I needed to spend with the family over Christmas as well, because believe it or not, it was our first Christmas as a family together because of work with Tina and myself. One of us was always working in the 18 years that we've been together. So, so we took that time as well, and it's been really nice, I have to say. But I'm going to show you around the plots now as well. So this video is going to be quite a long video really, because obviously I'm going to be talking about things that, you know, what we've been up to and things, but also what I've been doing here. And I think what we'll do is, let's go down, we'll start at the fruit cage today, and we'll walk around and I'll explain what the changes are going to be happening, what we've already done and things like that. And I think that'll be a good way to go about it. So as you can see, the fruit cage has all been totally cleared out, cut back, pruned and everything else, you know, so we are in a really good place with this. The only thing we've got now is a couple of dandelions that have come up in there. We'll dig those out, and we need to put some mulch down now ready for this season. We did dig out the gooseberries that were along here. The plants got really bad, so we decided to get them out, and the joster berries we cut right back. So but yeah, it's all good. The cages are left open for the birds to get in there and help themselves in the meantime. This area is a bit of a dumping ground with hose and things at the moment, but all these trees will all be pruned out later on in the summer now, because if you prune in winter with these sort of things, you can end up with getting a lot of growth, which we don't want. We want to reduce them. We're going to bring these trees right the way down, so we're going to do that in late summer. This here is on the back of the potato area. As you can see, all these potatoes still haven't even been harvested. So we've only harvested just over half the potatoes this year. And that was because of all this other stuff that we had going on. All the beds there, all done. They're all ready to go. They're covered over and everything's fine there. This year is a new addition. It's a new pond and waterfall feature. You may have seen some of these on Instagram and Facebook and other places like that. Waterfall looks stunning when it's on, but we only run it while we're here. And we've got some leaves and things gone down in the bottom of the pond. We'll get them out later. The planting hasn't finished yet. We've got a ton more things to go in here. I've got buckets of hostas, which I'll show you in a moment, that are going to come up here, and some other things. So this will be a really nice relaxing place. Underneath these two buckets, that one there and that one over there, are gunneras, and they were by the pool last time where the pond was. We've just dug them out and moved them. Right, this, the potato. Now, last March I said that I was going to be planting potatoes here again, but we've had an issue in the fact that yields went down really bad last year, and this year they were real poor. And the culprit is this massive fir tree here. Now, believe it or not, when we first came to this garden, this tree was only about 10 foot high and maybe around about 8 foot wide. It's now probably around 50 foot by 90 foot. It's absolutely massive. And so much so, originally 10 years ago, we built a pond in this area here, right behind the polytunnel. And this tree subsequently has put roots through it. You can see it's broken all of the fencing where it's pushing through, and the owners of the property just won't do anything about it. So anyway, as it happened, the tree actually pushed through its roots straight through a rubber liner that was here. So we've got rid of that. We filled it in, we've put the pond over there, and now this area is becoming more of a storage area. The other thing I think I'm going to put in here is some more worm bins, so it won't be a wasted area. Coming down, the polytunnel's all washed and cleaned, but obviously we've had a few storms. We've got some pots here with all comfrey cuttings in, and we'll deal with them when they start coming up. Right, so let's come down here to the tunnels, because there's a few things I want to talk about in here as well. As you can see, I've still got to clean the algae off the IBCs. So the tunnel is all done. All the grapevine is cut right back. Now, this vine went ballistic this year. As you can see, it comes across the tops of all of the beams, and the same on these ones, look. And what I found this year was there was so much top growth, it blocked light out for everything else. So the idea is I'm going to cut these cross beams right back to about halfway, which will allow light in this half of the tunnel at the very least where the sun is, so it should push light through the rest of the tunnel. We're not going to waste these. I'm going to try, once we've cut them off, in cutting them into sections and propagating them, see if I can get them to root. These bags here are all full of leaf mold, which you can see is absolutely beautiful. Now this will end up in our compost mixes when we are doing seed starting and stuff like that, and it is absolutely stunning. There's about a half a ton there, which we took out of one of the compost bays. It's taken around about 14 months for it to get to that stage, but it is absolutely worth its weight in gold. Figs and things here, you know, you can see they're already budding out. We get tons of figs off these, so that's all good. All of the seed systems are all set up ready. The only thing I want to put in along here now, Harvest got in touch with us with regards to a watering system for these. Now, as you know, I tend to bottom water, but they use a spray system, and Danny from Grow Up channel actually has one of these systems. They contacted me with regards to this, and I thought, you know what, last year I made a load of rose cuttings, and a spray system would have been really good for keeping up the humidity around those cuttings to prevent them drying out. So we're going to be installing along here this Harvest system, and I'll be in a later video, probably around maybe the end of February, possibly. In here, this is the room. This is pretty much okay in here. I've got a couple of pelargoniums that have died off there, but that's what it is. But the room itself is ready to go. Now I do have sowings at home of onions and stuff, so that's all good. So this tunnel is ready to go. We're ready to rock and roll with it. I will be doing this grape cutting back, and I'll probably make a video based on that as we go. Okay, all of this area is the Wellbeing Garden. We've got some planted baskets up. These will come now in the spring. We've just got to get in these beds and weed out the old dahlia tops and things out of them. Deal with the towers for the strawberries and things. But essentially, you know, this is relatively tidy, it just needs a clean. The polytunnel, again, this is all cleaned out. I've got a couple of things that have snapped I've got to put back up, but I'm actually going to change the way this is done in here. As you can see across the top, the top rails are all held together by 2x1 batten, and then we have our lines that drop from that. I'm going to be doing that a bit differently. I'm going to take these rails down and we're going to put wires across them, and then we'll tie to the wires. And what this will enable us is just to slide the line where we need it, so it'll make life a lot easier. The drip lines are still down here, but we've got to put some compost and things in these beds. You can already see how raised they are. And we also need to flush them. So it's still a little bit of work to do in here, but like I said, for the most part, it's ready to go. If we needed to, we could plant direct into it. This was the sewing table out of the other tunnel. I've brought it in here because we're going to build a bigger one in the other tunnel. And again, that is a project that we've got coming up. Okay, down here. This area here, this is not weed, it's green manure. It's called white mustard, and it's usually killed off with the first frosts, and this is what's hanging on after all the frost and snow we've had here. So this is the area that those potatoes are going to be coming down to, mainly because I'm going to be putting a bank of IBCs down there, and I may potentially move this brassica cage. Up where the potatoes are, we're going to place some new raised beds, and then we'll take these barriers, so these bed ends up there, and the potatoes will all be here, which will get them more in the sun and away from that tree. Herb bed all been cut back, and it's not looking too great at the moment. There's a few things we need to do in here just to get it tidied up, where we got a couple of rosemaries up and things, so it smells beautiful. This is a big flower bed here. Again, a little bit of weeding to do in that, but nothing of any consequence. Bay tree needs cutting, and as do some of the other trees. Now, as you can see how tall some of these are, we're going to be bringing these down to about 10 feet just to make harvesting much easier. The 2 rows of asparagus around here are all cut back. Again, I got a little bit of weeding to do along there, and these raised beds need refilling. Someone asked me about the crowns for the rhubarb and how big the rhubarb are, and you can see just how big these are. These actually need splitting, and I was going to do that this year. I just haven't got around to it. If I can get a bit of time before they start going, I may split 1 or 2 of them just to get them going. Again, we have this was a flower bed along here, and I've still got to take the stalks from the dahlias and things out of that, and the dahlias are still in the ground, so if they survive, they survive. You'll see straw on the beds. That was used as a mulch last year, and it's still here, surprising considering it's winter. We've got a load of leeks here. We still have some swede, some nice size swede really when you consider it. So that's good. These beds again down here, again, they just all need to have this white mustard killed off. Now, that's not a problem because that'll be happening very shortly. I recently had a fire here to burn some twigs like that from some of the prunings we've been doing. This area here, well, what can I say? Up until New Year's Eve, this area was just a massive mound of all composting ingredients. This is the compost that I've dug out of the compost bays, so we've got all of this to go on the garden, and it's been put here so that I could put the compost in the bays. Now, all of these bays are full bar one, so what you're seeing on top here isn't the actual compost ingredients. This is some of the old compost out of the potato buckets after we harvested them, and we've used it as a cap on the compost, so that keeps down any smell or anything like that. We do need to get these covered though. I never got around to covering them over. Some other ones are covered, so again, these were ones done a little bit later. and they're covered over, as you can see. But this will all be the next batch of compost. This is one we're currently working on. So there's a lot of leaves and things in this one at the moment. We need to put a load of green into that. This is one that needs emptying, and this is just a leaf store. So this is all the leaves and branches and stuff that we haven't used, but we'll store that as a carbon store. This one will go out and join all of that over there. Here we have what's left of a big round straw bale, just like that one behind there, and this will end up in the compost as a carbon source. It's just all the covers, because I've been using it, are off, and I'm not bothered about it getting wet because it'll be going in with this lot very shortly. I've got a lot of rubbish here that I've cleared out. This has all got to go to the municipal site, and I'll do that as I get a chance. These beds are looking a bit worse for wear, but I'm going to transplant some of this chard into containers at a later stage, so we'll cut down most of the leaves off it, and they'll be selected for seed. So we'll allow them to go to seed this year, and we'll be doing that with a lot of other things. This bed here has all garlic in. It's only just started appearing in this part of the bed, as you can see there and there. So it is coming up in this part. This is just standard garlic here, and up here we have elephant garlic, and they are coming up as well. So as you can see, they are just sticking through the ground as well. So so the garlic is all coming up nice and well, and I prefer it to be nice and short like that. So essentially that's where we are at the moment. The garden itself is looking okay. Like I said, this white mustard, as soon as I start putting compost on beds, that'll will sort itself out. So really we've only got the jobs to do now that are really small. When I say small, moving this thing won't be a small job, but I've already cut all the drip irrigation off and things. But the big stuff's all done. The pond is built, the tunnels are all cleaned, the plastic has been washed. We just need to get on and do these little things now as the weather allows. Believe it or not, it's either snowed or poured down with rain for the last few weeks, and today is the first dry day that I've been able to come up here and film. So so that's been a good thing. So I know this has been a real long video, but I just wanted to explain where I've been, what I've been doing, why I did it, and folks, I don't make any apologies for taking some time. Like I said, I've given 18 years of my life to helping other gardeners on YouTube, and my mind and my body were both telling me, look, you need a rest, which is what I took. And that's pretty much it. It's been funny actually, because when something is part of your life for so long, you really miss doing it. And although I was doing other things and other things with the thing that I'm going to be releasing very shortly and stuff, I was having to get onto live streams with other people because I was missing it so much. You'll be surprised that the connections that you build with people and the relationships you build with people, you'll be surprised how much you'll miss those when you take a break of this length. And a lot of you, and I mean a lot of you, sent so many emails, where are you, what have you been doing, are you okay, wondering if we'd quit. And I could have given you all a video to say, look, this is what's happening, this is why I'm taking a break. But I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to tie myself into a time scale when I was going to be back. And so initially, when I stopped the long form, I had 90 shorts already filmed. All they needed was editing and putting out. So they appeared all over TikTok. Some appeared on YouTube, not all of them. and they appeared on Facebook, Instagram and things. So there was content going out for about 3 months. But one thing for those creators out there, YouTube will tell you that shorts views don't affect your long form content. Let me tell you, they are lying to you. Okay, I will tell you that right up. It does affect your long form views, okay? And I'm living proof of that. So for those creators thinking of only just doing shorts or thinking that shorts are the answer, they're not, okay? Like I said, I tested it for that 3-month period, and I can tell you now that shorts will ruin your long form reach as far as YouTube is concerned anyway. Folks, I think I've jabbered on enough. Like I said, I'm back now. I'm ready to go for this season. I'm quite excited about this season, and over the next few months I'm going to be putting things in place that will make my life easier should I get another season like the grass we had last year or anything else. So there'll be a lot of water irrigation systems coming in that will run from the IBCs. This is why I like that harvest thing. There will be some products that I'm going to be testing that a couple of companies have sent me, and I'll be testing those and letting you know what I think about them. And there will probably be a change to the way that I'm doing some of the videos as before, because those who have seen like all the AI stuff, AI is now answering all the questions that you might have. So really it's down to personality and how someone does something and the reasons behind it. They can't mimic that, if you like. They can give you an answer to a question based on all the conflicting information out there on the internet, and that's where AI falls down, that real gardeners don't. So if you want good, honest advice, stick with the creators, guys, okay? That are not... It's okay to use AI for things like supporting and planning and things like that, but not those that are going out there just totally answering questions with an AI voice, an AI video, and the whole thing was generated by AI. It wasn't fact-checked by a real gardener, because I think that's going to create some issues in the future. Anyway, folks, I will see you in the next one. If you haven't already, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, because we've got a ton of stuff coming. I'm back now, I'm ready for it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.